Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be just a kind of a quick tip video. Hopefully I can keep it short, or make it short once I get finished taking the video and chopping it all up. About a month ago, maybe a little less, a buddy of mine from up the street brought me a fig tree that he had planted from a branch. Had two cute little leaves on it, which immediately fell off as soon as I got them. But then a few weeks later, it started growing new leaves. That's another video. However, down in the pot, I had these little sprouts pop up. No idea what they were. After they got to be an inch or two tall, I could tell they kind of looked like tomato plants. And as you can see, this is what they became. Right now they're in 6-inch pots. They're about 1 foot to 1.5 feet tall, and it's time to put them in a bigger pot. It's July in Florida, so I certainly can't plant these things outside. The heat would kill them immediately. I think it's about noon right now, and I believe we're getting real close to 90 degrees already. And all the rest of my tomatoes that I have planted outside, or had planted outside, are now in my compost pile because the heat killed them last month. So let's do a little bit of a repotting. Taking these out of a 6-inch pot, putting them into a 12-inch pot, and I'll show you what I do and a couple of the little tricks that I do. First off, you'll notice in the big pot I've only put 1 inch or 2 of dirt in the bottom of it. The reason for that is, and this is a tip that I got from, I think it came from the guy that runs the Voodoo Garden channel. If I can find that video, I had it from several years ago. If I can find that video, I'll give you a link. In any case, you might want to check out both of his channels. He's got his Voodoo Garden where he does indoor gardening, and he does all kinds of gardening, ornamentals, fruit trees, various plants, vegetables, you name it. And then he's also got a gardening channel called Praxis 55712, I believe, where he does a lot of outdoor gardening, and that one is more along the lines of fruit and vegetables and that sort of thing. He's got a lot of good information, and I strongly recommend that you check out his channel. And no, this is not a paid political endorsement. So to begin with, one of my tricks, Epsom salts, magnesium sulfate. Tomatoes seem to love it. I don't know who told me this trick, but they do seem to love it. It helps them to take up nitrogen. And I just sprinkle a little bit of that into the pot. Just a small handful is all it takes. You don't have to overdo it. Then I'll take the tomato plant and see if I can get it out of here without killing it. It's got some nice roots growing. I'm not going to disturb them. I'm just going to set it down in that pot. And then basically any leaves or branches that are below ground level or even close to ground level, there's a little sucker trying to form in there, I'm going to go ahead and take off and drop them into the bottom and let them fill up with, or let them turn into fertilizer. Then I take some more dirt and just start filling it in. I always put a napkin in the bottom of these pots just to keep some of the dirt from falling through the holes. That works out well for me, and the napkins eventually break down, so I don't have to worry about trying to take them out when I repot them or anything like that. Make a little bit of a mess here, because I always make a mess. Like J-Null says, if you're not making a mess, you're doing it wrong. So I make sure I always make a mess. I may still be doing it wrong, but so far this particular technique has worked pretty well for me. I've gotten a number of tomatoes over the years. In fact, I was growing tomatoes all last winter. We did well. This is Florida. We don't have winters. Last year I don't think we ever made it to freezing. So my tomatoes kept growing all year, and I was eating them all winter. And I was eating them all winter. In springtime, I actually had to pull up tomato plants that were growing well still because I needed that space for my chili peppers. So we get this filled up, and I fill it all the way up to the top as far as I can, because I want to get as much of that main stem under the ground as possible. The reason for that is tomatoes, unlike most other plants, they love being buried up to their neck in dirt. And all along the main stem, anything that's underground will start growing roots, and that'll make just that much more healthy a plant for you. So that being the case, fill it up just as far as you can fill it up. Wish I had a deeper pot, because I would have preferred to fill it up to about here. That's going to grow roots all along that main stem. And let me block the camera while I dump some more of this dirt in here. So I'm tired of using the spoon. Rearrange it a little bit. Put my implements of destruction out of the way. And I'm going to put a tray over here. Take the pot, put the tray in there. Grab me one of my water jugs and water it in well. 1 cup. 2 cups. 3 cups. That should be good to get it started. And I'll be watering this guy twice a day, so I don't want to overwater it. I've found that I tend to overwater everything, so I try to make a conscious decision to underwater and do it more often. Basically, that's the trick. Put a little bit of Epsom salts in the hole and bury the tomato plant as deep as you can bury it. Bury it up to its neck if you can. It'll come back stronger and more solid. It'll have a lot better root structure, and overall you wind up getting a lot more fruit off of it. That's it for today. Hope that helps.